Have you ever felt like something is wrong with what you were taught about God? Have you ever wondered why? Even though you attend temples, say prayers, and follow rules, your heart still feels empty? Maybe the answer lies in a truth that has been hidden for centuries. A gospel that doesn't speak of guilt, doesn't demand suffering, and doesn't depend on churches. But one that was quietly revealed by Chico Xavier through messages from higher worlds. A gospel that doesn't imprison but sets you free. That doesn't judge but embraces. That doesn't divide but unites. Chico knew the time would come. The time when awakened souls would begin to remember the forgotten truth. And maybe if you're here now, it's because that truth is ready to awaken within you. Stay until the end of this video, because what you'll hear here might change the way you see faith, the world, and yourself. Have you ever felt, deep within your being, that there is something sacred inside you that no church can contain? Chico Xavier, with his serene voice and eyes always filled with compassion, revealed us a truth that few dare to speak. God doesn't dwell in temples made by human hands, but within the heart of the one who loves. For decades, he transcribed messages from elevated spirits like Emmanuel and Andre Louise, and one of the most powerful revelations was this: the true gospel of Jesus is not locked behind stained glass or golden altars. It's alive, pulsating in every act of compassion, in every elevated thought, in every tear wiped away with love. Chico used to say that true religion is lived in silence, when you reach out your hand without expecting anything in return, that the most powerful altar is your own heart when it vibrates in harmony with goodness. And then comes a question that few dare to ask. What if we've been taught to search outside for what was always within? The gospel that Chico revealed doesn't ask you to attend a temple. It asks you to be the temple. It doesn't ask you to repeat memorized prayers, but to live love truthfully. This is the beginning of the mystery. What if the key to your connection with the divine is right there, in the silence of your soul, waiting to be turned? The cross wasn't meant to be idolized, but overcome. Since childhood, we've been taught to fear the cross, to see it as a symbol of pain, sacrifice, and never-ending suffering. But what if all of that has been misunderstood? Chico Xavier invited us to look at the cross through new eyes. For him, it didn't represent punishment, but spiritual transformation. It was a symbol of our own process of evolution. How many times have you asked why certain pains never seem to end? Why some trials repeat themselves in your life? Chico tells us these crosses aren't punishments. They are invitations to rise. But there's a secret here. The cross was never meant to be carried forever. It exists to be understood and then left behind. We don't evolve by worshiping suffering. We evolve by learning from it. Jesus didn't die for us to live in guilt. He lived to teach us how to overcome evil with love. And Emmanuel affirms this idea, saying, accept your cross with faith, but don't forget to keep walking. The cross you carry today may be teaching your soul exactly what it needs to be free tomorrow. But you'll only discover that once you stop worshiping it and begin to transcend it. This is a powerful key of the inner gospel that Chico revealed, the gospel of liberation, not guilt, sin, or a learning opportunity. For centuries, we were taught to fear sin. We believed that a mistake, a failure, an impure thought was enough to condemn us forever. But what if this was all just a distorted view? What if what we call sin is actually a step on the path of evolution? Chico Xavier gave us a surprising perspective, free of guilt, but full of responsibility. In the view of the higher spirits who accompanied him, no one is ever lost forever. To make mistakes is part of the journey. It's part of being spirits in progress, learning with each reincarnation, stumbling, falling, rising, and moving forward. What many call sin, Chico saw as temporary ignorance, not something to be punished forever, but something to be corrected with love, awareness, and effort. He used to say, God doesn't punish, he educates. And time is the most patient teacher in the universe. There is no eternal hell waiting for you. There's only the need to grow, to learn from your own mistakes, and to seek, little by little, the light that has always been inside you. And this is one of the most liberating truths of the gospel Chico revealed. You were not born to live under guilt. You were born to awaken. So next time you feel like a failure, unworthy, or a sinner, remember, maybe you're just halfway through the journey and God still believes in you. The gospel hidden by religion. There's a gospel that few people know. A gospel not written only with words, but with actions. A gospel not preached with fear, but with love. And over the centuries, it was silenced, hidden, buried beneath rituals, power, and human doctrines. Chico Xavier, with the wisdom of someone who listened to voices from above, warned us about this. He said that the true teachings of Jesus were disfigured, turned into instruments of control, fear, and guilt, when at their core, they were messages of freedom. Jesus never said, "Go to church and be saved." He said, "The kingdom of God is within you." But this inner gospel, simple, pure, and revolutionary, didn't serve those who wanted to keep people dominated by fear. How many times have you felt that religion distanced you from God instead of bringing you closer? Chico understood this. He knew the true Christ didn't demand public sacrifices, but inner transformation. Jesus didn't build temples. He awakened consciences. That was the essence of the gospel Chico brought back into the light. The great secret is this. The most powerful gospel is the one that religion tried to hide, and your spirit is silently beginning to remember. And maybe you're here now, hearing these words, because you're ready to rediscover that gospel within yourself. Righty is the true religion. What if I told you that the greatest prayer you can say is not in a book or on an altar, but in a silent act of kindness? Chico Xavier always said that true religion isn't found in labels, robes, or beautiful words, but in the humble action of helping someone without expecting anything in return. For him, charity was more powerful than any dogma, stronger than any sermon, because charity is the gospel in action. While many argue about who is right, who is saved, or which religion is true, the true disciple of Jesus simply extends a hand to the fallen, comforts the grieving, and feeds the hungry body and soul. Chico taught us that before the eyes of higher spirituality, no one will be asked what church they belong to, but rather, how many tears did you dry? How many wounds did you heal with love? How many times did you choose to forgive? That is the essence of the gospel he brought to light, a living gospel not spoken but practiced. And the most beautiful part of this revelation is that anyone, anywhere, at any time can live this religion. All it takes is a heart willing to love and to serve. Because in the end, that's what beings of light recognize, not beliefs, but awakened consciousness. The gospel of the future, universal, free, and loving. Imagine a future where there are no more borders between religions, where no soul is judged for its beliefs, color, culture, or past. A future where all truths meet in one single vibration, love. Chico Xavier dreamed of that time. And more than dreaming, he gave us signs that this time is already arriving. In his psychograph messages, Chico revealed that Earth is undergoing a spiritual transition. And in this new cycle, the gospel of Jesus will return not as a doctrine, but as a state of consciousness, a universal gospel that belongs to no religion, a free gospel that doesn't impose, but invites, a loving gospel that doesn't accuse, but embraces. The higher spirits are not interested in religious titles. They observe the vibrations of our hearts, our ability to understand, serve, and forgive. The future will be of light, but only those who learn to love unconditionally will enter it. That was a silent message Chico conveyed in every word and every gesture. And maybe the gospel of the future is not a new gospel, but the same one taught over 2,000 years ago, finally understood with an awakened heart, because the true spiritual revolution won't come from outside. It begins within us. And Chico knew this. That's why he planted seeds in silence, knowing that one day each would blossom in souls like yours. If you enjoyed today's video, subscribe, leave a like, and click the bell so you're notified whenever we post new content here. Until our next encounter, thank you and blessings.